Ready? Play.
Hello, everybody. We are here for another show, another live show, as well as we anticipate the draw for the ATP Tour Finals any moment. I will be keeping an eye on that to see as and when the actually gets announced, the 8 players, who and where and how they will fall. In the meantime, let's just have a quick look at the players that have qualified, by the way. So, obviously, we have Casper Ruud. He was the French Open finalist, the US Open finalist too. He maybe, some of you may feel as though he's a little bit lucky to be here. I don't know, particularly the form that he's been in of late. Let me know in the live chat what you think about that. Am I being a bit harsh on the Scandinavian player? Here we go. So we've got, see Casper Ruud there. Sort of just beside his good friend Rafael Nadal. Let me know your thoughts in the live chat on that. Rafael Nadal, of course, qualified quite some time ago. I do remember him once as well saying, talking about Casper Ruud before the French Open, I think, where he said, well, he's fifth in the race. Well, both of them are qualified. Both of them, of course, were in that French Open final. Rafael Nadal pretty much sealed his spot after the French Open final, having won the first 2 majors of the year. So those 2 guys were safely there. I mean, I think Casper Ruud pretty much sealed it once he got to the final in New York. Sip of coffee time. Tsitsipas, of course, he's had a fairly consistent year, if not spectacular. Winning the Masters 1000 in Monte Carlo, having a good run in Australia, getting to the semi-finals as well. Obviously, getting to the semi-finals quite recently in Paris-Bercy as well. But not really doing too much damage thereafter, but being consistent enough to earn his spot. Novak Djokovic, by the way, many people were speculating, what's he doing there? Well, he wasn't in the top 20. Sorry, he wasn't in the top 8 players for the year at one stage, having... but he got in by virtue of winning Wimbledon. However, before you jump on me in the live chat, I'm aware that after his run at Paris-Bercy, he made the top 8 as well. So I think there's no doubting Novak Djokovic's credentials regarding this tournament, having won Wimbledon, having won Astana, having won in Tel Aviv, having got to the final in Serbia as well, having got to the semi-finals in Madrid, quarterfinals French Open, winning Wimbledon, of course, despite there being no points available. Novak Djokovic's credentials need no saying, and of course, he's going for a multiple title. Somebody else who's also going for another title here in Turin is Daniil Medvedev. Medvedev won it 2 years ago. Remember that shrug at the point that he did win the tournament. Let's just have a quick look on Twitter, though. I don't want to miss the actual moment that we get the draw. I can see some juggling there from Rafa Nadal in Turin. He's obviously already arrived at the northern Italian city, and he's already been practicing. I saw him practicing with Taylor Fritz yesterday. Taylor Fritz, of course, he's on the far right of the screen there as I look. He qualified as well. He was the last person to qualify, of course, because he came in by virtue of the fact that Carlos Alcaraz pulled out injured from the tournament about just under a week ago now, pulling up during the match against Holger Rune in Paris, some abdominal, I think, or rib issues, certainly just above the waist, and his season is over as a result. Sip of coffee before it gets cold. I did a show earlier this week on the power rankings, by the way, and let me know your thoughts on my power rankings if you did see it. I might just retweet it out there right now, actually, if I can very quickly find it. Let's have a quick look. Power rankings. Lots of pics of Nadal and Medvedev and Serena Williams and stuff, because I've been interviewing some people about some of those matches that you'll be seeing very, very shortly. I had Pam Shriver on for the Serena Williams epic against Tomljanovic. That'll be posted sometime end of November, I think. And I've got Daniil Medvedev against Rafa Nadal and Rafa Nadal against Djokovic already in the can. Those matches of the year will be reviewed and out there end of November, beginning of December. So keep an eye out for those. Make sure you subscribe to the channel if you are new and hit that notification button so you don't miss out on live videos like this. Let me just show you my power rankings that I had as well. Well, let's just quickly talk about how these guys qualified, and then we'll come to my power rankings. Andrey Rublev, another guy with a fairly consistent year, albeit not too many deep runs at slams at the very least. Felix, of course, has been on fire of late. He has been on fire. I think, well, you'll see where he's in my power rankings in a second, but listen, only Holger Rune could stop him, and Holger Rune basically stopped everybody in Paris-Bercy last week. He's been on an incredible run. Remember, about 90-odd service games in a row, barely dropping sets as well as he won 3 tournaments in a row, albeit that run did come to an end in Paris-Bercy at the semi-final stage against Holger Rune last week. Okay, let's have a look at my power rankings. We've got Vanch's power rankings here as well. I have, let's give that a quick retweet out to the Twitter sphere. He's got 2 similar tiers to me, albeit that he's put them in slightly different order. Let's have a quick look at mine, and then you can all agree and disagree. I did a show on this the other day as well, so make sure you check that out in one of my previous videos. I think it was about 2 days ago. Here's my power rankings anyway. So I've got in number 8 there, Casper Ruud. I just think his form is 2 and 4 coming into this tournament, and therefore he's there. You could argue that maybe he should be ahead of Taylor Fritz. Taylor Fritz, of course, quite fortunate to be here, bearing in mind he's only here by virtue of the fact that Carlos Alcaraz is injured. Also in the live chat, by the way, if you get information on the draw, let me know in the live chat, because I'm trying to keep across it, but as yet, I have not seen anything. Yeah, so let me know what you think on that. So I've got obviously number 6. I have gone for Rafael Nadal. Am I being harsh on the Spaniard? Am I being generous towards Andrey Rublev? Am I being generous? Let me know in the live chat whether you think I'm being a bit too fortunate. Listen, I just think Rafa is out of form, definitely. 2 losses back-to-back to 2 Americans in New York, and also, of course, in Paris-Bercy to Tiafoe and Tommy Paul, respectively. Let's have a quick look for you on the official website. Yeah. No, still no draw. So yeah, just let me know whether you think I'm being a bit harsh on the Spaniard. I just think his form, and there are some question marks as well about his fitness as well. I mean, he's barely played. He's desperate to get some sets in. Listen, if I was a player, by the way, a rival, I just wouldn't play him. You know, I saw Taylor Fritz doing a practice set with him, I think yesterday. If I was anybody else, if I was Novak Djokovic, definitely, I'd be telling everyone, don't practice with Rafa. Let him practice with somebody. Let him practice with a junior or somebody even lower down. Yeah. Anyway, see, still no draw news. Just looking for the Nitto finals official website. Just got the qualifiers up at the moment. Yeah, let me know in the live chat if you do hear of anything. I will also be constantly scrolling through Twitter to see if there is any news on the draw. In the meantime, I see a picture of Yannick Sinner with his dog. Yannick Sinner, of course, missing out. Many may have thought that there were some people in the top 8 who have had a better year, perhaps, than you know, not many people have probably had a better year than Yannick Sinner in so many respects, and yet he didn't make it. Well, that's just how it is. Um, yeah. So, just also having a quick thought about the draw. We've got sort of 4 pots, which I think is kind of interesting. We've got Rafa Nadal and Stefanos Tsitsipas in Tsitsipas? I'm talking about pots. We've got Nadal and Tsitsipas in pot 1. So they cannot be drawn against each other. I might just put this down on paper. So because obviously they're the 2 highest ranked players. You've got Nadal and Tsitsipas in pot 1. They cannot be drawn against each other. They will be in separate groups. Who knows which group they may fall in. They may well be the first people out of the hat. I say a hat, that's kind of an old football expression. Probably there won't be such a thing in Turin. Sip of coffee necessary. Casper Ruud and Daniil Medvedev will be in the second pot. Again, those 2 players will have to avoid. In the third pot, we'll have Felix and Rublev. I'm gonna tweet this out there, by the way, so don't worry if you're just struggling to keep up. And of course, we'll have in pot 4, Djokovic. And sometimes I nearly write Novak, but then you might think Dennis Novak is squeezed in somehow. Djokovic and Taylor Fritz. So those guys cannot meet either. So we could have potentially a group with Nadal, Medvedev, Rublev, and Djokovic, for example. Let me just take a picture of this and tweet it out there to the world. Let me know what you think about my power rankings, by the way. Am I crazy? What do you think about Felix? I've got Felix in at number 2. Should he be number 3? Should he be number 1? Should Medvedev be higher? Should Medvedev be number 1? He's won it more recently than Novak. This is a very, very amateurish looking picture, but hopefully you get the idea. Nitto ATP finals. Let's get that out there. So yeah, let me know what you think about that. Yeah, I think for me it has to be Novak really. There's just no alternative for me in my opinion. Yeah, I've got Novak in as the first one. Felix in at number 2. I've gone for Felix. I just think his form is better than Daniel's right now. Daniel's got probably more overall pedigree, especially at this tournament. But I just think Felix's form. Listen, we've got 10 of you now in the live chat. Please let me know your thoughts on the draw that's coming up very, very soon. I hope they said it's going to be released at midday. Who knows what palaver is going on down there in Turin. But please let me know your thoughts in the live chat as well. Make sure you hit that like button and subscribe to the channel if you are new. As soon as I get information regarding the draw, I will let you know without a doubt. I have just tweeted out the scenario in terms of the pots for this draw. So yeah, those guys cannot be drawn against each other. They will be kept separate. Rafa Nadal is as sort of number 1 or the highest ranked player. Tsitsipas is the second highest player. Ruud, Medvedev, Felix, Andrey, Novak, and Fritz in that order. So they keep those guys separate. Yeah, let's have a quick look at that. I'll get that up on the screen right now for you so I can just show you what I mean by that. Yeah. Do you see the lovely professionalism that we have here at Talking Tennis? These are the pots, by the way. So pots for the Nitto ATP finals. Nadal and Tsitsipas to be kept separate. Ruud and Medvedev 2. And Felix and Rublev also cannot be drawn against each other. So we could have, for example, Nadal, Medvedev, Rublev, and Djokovic in one group, and we could have Tsitsipas. Ruud, Felix, for example. Actually, Felix would be the horrible one, wouldn't it? Nadal, Medvedev, Felix, Djokovic. That would be the group of death. And the group of life would be on the other side, Tsitsipas, Ruud, Rublev, and Fritz. Maybe you would even argue, by the way, listen, in terms of form, really the group of death will be Tsitsipas, Medvedev, Felix, and Djokovic. If Nadal gets Casper Ruud, Rublev, and Fritz, he will be the luckiest tennis player on the planet. But let's see. If you had Tsitsipas, Medvedev, okay, I'm going to put this out on the live chat. If you had Tsitsipas, Medvedev, Felix, and let's put that in the live chat. Tsitsipas, Felix, Medi, Djokovic. Possible group of death. Who would emerge? Let's put that in the live chat. So I'll put that up on the screen. Hi, Patrick. Nice to have you on board, by the way. Maybe you'd have Rafa above Rublev. Yeah, quite possibly. But generally, you agree with the rankings. Thank you, Patrick. Patrick, great to have you on board. Make sure you hit that like button, by the way, and subscribe to the channel if you are new. So, yeah, let me know in the live chat who you think would emerge from this possible group of death. I'm going to have another quick sip of my coffee as we still await this draw. Still no news, at least regarding the draw, but I will be across it. Don't you worry. So we'll see. We'll see how this pans out. Let me know who you think is going to win the tournament. I have Djokovic as the favorite. Doesn't necessarily mean I think he'll win it. I wouldn't be surprised if his recent curse at this tournament does come back to reoccur, if you like. It could quite possibly do that. So we'll see on that. Still no news, unfortunately, from Turin. I'll leave that on the screen for now. Those possible ones. But yeah, let me know in the live chat what you think. I think could well be Felix's year. Could be. I just think Medvedev hasn't really shown enough consistency this year. He's shown sparks of returns to form, like in Astana, but then he unbelievably goes out. Maybe I think there's not a 3-horse race. I think any of the 8, we've seen some more unusual results. Any of the 8 can go on a run. They've all got the talent. They've all shown it at various points through the year. I think somebody like perhaps Casper Ruud would be, I guess he would be the most surprising winner for me. I just think Taylor Fritz, by the way, I've got him at number 7, and I'm starting to feel more confident about that in my list, if you like, because I just think with Taylor Fritz, he could just have some amazing serving days. He really could. On his absolute best serving day, if he can hold his nerve as well, which I think is a question, he is capable of doing it, of winning. I just think he can beat any and all of these players on any given day. So that's why I've gone for him. Yeah, basically as simple as that. Yeah, maybe you disagree with my thoughts on that, but that's how I see it. Still no news yet from Turin. If you hear of anything from Turin as well, let me know in the live chat. You know what I mean. Check the website right now. See if we have any news as yet. We will soon find out, I hope, so we can discuss that as well. I'll be doing a preview show for the tournament, probably sometime tomorrow afternoon. I have an Italian sports journalist on for that, so we will see. Anybody know in the live chat any more news yet? ATP Tour Finals. Sure. Yep, still no news as yet. Just thinking about some of the draw scenarios, by the way. As I said, we could have Nadal, Djokovic, and Medvedev in the same group, along with Felix, which would be an insane group. So we've got 4 pots comprising of the 2 players. Let me just see. I think I've still got that on the screen, haven't I? We've got the 4 pots with the 2 players, and they obviously can't be paired with each other. And players from the same body cannot be drawn. The world's top 8 male players, therefore, will be divided into 2 groups of 4 players each fighting for semi-final spots. Yes, so just for those of you in the live chat who are not aware, who are watching, it's a bit like a World Cup thing, really. It's a bit like a football. Those that are big into football know how this works. Generally, 2 wins in the group stage will seal your passage. 3, of course, guarantees it, that you'll go through. None guarantees that you'll go out. If you win 1 or 2, depending on the permutations, depending on sets won, I remember Rafa in 2019 winning 2 of his 3 matches, but he won those 2 matches in 3 sets, and he lost in straight sets to Zverev. Unfortunately, that meant he had to go home. But normally 2 matches probably will seal your passage as well. But 3 will guarantee it. Sometimes, of course, you can go into that final round of round robin match and be already assured of a place in the semi-final. We saw that recently in the WTA finals with Maria Sakkari. So 2 groups of 4, top 2 go through, top place player plays the runner-up in the other group, and so on and so forth. And those of you that love football will completely understand what I mean. Yeah, I really want to know your thoughts on this possible group of death. Yeah, I'm still waiting as well, Game to Love. I'm desperate to find out. If knowing what I know, especially with other ones, we know how they drag this out. If you've ever watched a Champions League draw or World Cup finals draw, they say live at X time, and then they just drag and drag and drag. So who knows? Listen, if they don't release it maybe in the next 10 or 15 minutes, I may have to bring this show to an end, unfortunately, but we'll see. If they don't release it soon, I will certainly be back as soon as they release it. But I think it is today. I hope it is. Maybe it's tomorrow. Maybe I've got the wrong day. You're scaring me right now. But they did say today for that. What a message there. Yeah, so I'm pretty sure it is today. I know that other channels as well and other media outlets are suggesting it is, but I am pretty sure it is JG, if that is you, I believe. Pretty sure it is today. Should be today anyway. It's scheduled for today. Let me just Google it one more time. Live draw ATP finals, Nitto. All you need to know. I will just have a quick look. When is the draw? Thursday, the 10th of November, today at midday, I presume local time, which was half an hour ago. So yeah, it is today, at least according to the website. Maybe I can even bring that up on our screens. Let me just have a quick play around with technology here. Yeah, here we go. So all you need to know, if you can see this, hopefully you can. I'll just bring it down here. When is the draw? We can just see it there. Boom, boom, boom. So yeah, it should be right now, JG. Should be. No worries. You scared me though, JG. I thought they were, my first example of being the spreader of fake news, JG. I thought there was when I'm suggesting that it's happening right now and it isn't, and people are clicking. If it was that case, it would be an innocent mistake. But unless, by the way, the ATP Tour website is guilty of getting it wrong, and it wouldn't be the first time they've got things wrong. That's for sure. But as far as I'm aware, it's supposed to be now. I'll have another quick look at Twitter while you guys can have a quick look at some of the stuff I've left up on the screen. Let's just like this. Is a nice image. Oh, okay. Season finale. That's a nice image of Turin. Anyone here been to Turin? I've been to Turin a couple of times, or at least once anyway. I remember going there in 2003 for a football match in February 2003. Very, very, very cold. I remember not having a hotel for the night, and me and my friend were so cold, we dived into a hotel that we were not staying in and just went up and down the elevators for about half an hour to keep warm. And then at one point, we decided to go to the lounge, thinking we might be able to get away with just sitting in the lounge. It was now about 4 or 5 in the morning, and there was about 100 Man United fans just sitting there as well, doing something fairly similar, it looked like. Anyway, just having a quick look here at the official website. Still no draw information. I'll just have a quick look on Twitter to see if there is anything right now out and about on the Twitter sphere regarding the draw. No, nothing as yet. Maybe I can even have a quick look on our good friend San Google as well. Yeah, I'll put that potential crazy draw up on the screen as well. See what you think about that. Who would emerge? Let me know in the live chat if that draw did occur. But yeah, so yeah, Tsitsipas as well. I think Tsitsipas and Nadal have been practicing this morning. So Nadal getting his practice in that he so desperately wanted. I'm telling you, all of his rivals should just say, "Nah, not practicing, mate. Sorry, I'm busy. Can't make it. I've got a big Italian lunch to deal with. I won't be making that, so I will have to skip that." Let me just see. Nadal, Ruud, Rublev, Fritz. Yeah, that would be Nadal's dream group. If Nadal, Ruud, Rublev, and Fritz, that would be Nadal's dream group. Of course, it would be Tsitsipas's dream group as well. But there's been plenty of action going on elsewhere. We just recently, of course, had the WTA finals. Let me know as well your thoughts on the live chat regarding that match, or that final, if you like, between Sabalenka and Garcia. Let me know if you think that was a worthy end to the season. How do you feel about Iga's year? Has it been marvelous, or is there just a slight edge of disappointment given that she didn't win that final tournament of the WTA year? But we are here to discuss the final ATP tournament of the year, which is taking place in Turin. I need another sip of coffee, I think. Yep, still no news anyway on this draw. As I say, probably if it doesn't emerge in the next 10 or 15 minutes, I'll have to leave you and come back. What have we got here? JG poping up. I agree with you that Felix is second favorite, by the way. Yeah. What's your, JG, what's your power rankings? And did you release a video as well? If so, I'll mention it as well. Let me know your power rankings, JG, in the live chat, and also if you did do I think you said you were threatening to air your views, but knowing how you can be a little bit reticent about airing your predictions and then loving to say how you were right afterwards is one of your favorite little tricks. So let me know if you did end up putting that there. Did you have Medvedev third? I think it's really those three in any order. Well, no, not in any order. You got to have Novak first, I think, and then you have either Felix or Medi second, and after that, you would have to have, I guess Tsitsipas fourth, and then the last four. You could have them in any order. Yeah. Anyway, let's see if there's any more news yet regarding this draw. They said midday. As we can see here, look. Anyway, just a quick look at what is the format and who's playing the event in Turin. We'll see 8 players divided into two groups of 4, with the top 2 from each group advancing to the semi-finals. Nadal, Tsitsipas, Ruud, Medvedev, Felix, Auger-Aliassime. What do you think about that for pronunciation? Rublev, Djokovic, and Fritz will all be in Turin vying for that title. Of course, it begins on Sunday. There will be matches in the afternoon and evening. All these times are Central European time, and so therefore the first match will take place on Sunday at 2 p.m. The final, by the way, the singles final will be at 7 p.m. on Sunday, the 20th of November. They did tweak that, by the way, and adjust that time because that's the same day, I believe, that the World Cup final or the World Cup, begins. The World Cup begins. No, you didn't do a video. Okay, no problem. Let's put your thoughts up anyway. Djokovic, Felix, Medvedev, Tsitsipas. Yeah, that's the same first 4 as me. Yeah, Fritz ahead of Ruud. That's the same as me as well. I mean, the only ones you got different there are Nadal and Rublev, but I think really there's not much of an argument not to put Djokovic first. The argument is between Felix and Medvedev, and you really could almost toss a coin for that, and I wouldn't argue too strongly either way. I think Tsitsipas sits plumb in fourth. I think anybody who's got Tsitsipas higher than fourth, I would argue with, and anyone who's got him lower than fourth, I would argue with as well. I think Nadal could be anywhere between 5 and 6. Yeah, I would certainly have Nadal ahead of Fritz and Ruud, no matter what. I just think that that his record against them on pretty much all surfaces. I know Fritz beat Nadal in Indian Wells, but Nadal's played Fritz twice this year, and Nadal has been hampered somewhat on both occasions, and he nearly won both. I mean, he probably should have won that tiebreak in Indian Wells, despite having horrible rib issues. And I just think that Fritz, I saw Fritz play last week at Paris-Bercy. There's just too many frailties. I think he's got the game to do really well, and really well. I mean, he's obviously done pretty well as a tennis player, but I mean, to win a slam, he's got the game to win Wimbledon, for example. Has he got the nerve? Has he got the mentality? Well, in 10 days from now, we may well see him lift that trophy. I do think Ruud is the least. I just think Ruud would be my absolute outsider, because I just don't see Ruud in any way, shape, or form winning 2, 3, 4 matches of this caliber back to back. I could see Fritz on. There is an alternate universe where Fritz has an unbelievable serving tournament, if you like, and wins 4 out of 5 matches, and that could well take you to the title, as I said before. In fact, you could even win just 3. You could lose 2 of your opening round matches and still qualify. It is possible. We've seen it, of course, in football or soccer, where one group win is enough. I do hope that we're going to have some news pretty soon regarding this draw, because I will maybe have to love you and leave you at some point, and then just come back with a reaction to the draw. I probably in hindsight, you live and learn, but probably in hindsight, I probably should have just waited for the draw and then just immediately gone live at that point. Some nice little images of Rafa doing some keepy uppies, it looks like, in Turin. Would you like to see that on the screen? Maybe I can show that for you. Yeah. Yeah. So anyway, maybe what do you think? Ruud and Fritz really is the which order do you have those in? For me, though, it has to be Fritz above Ruud. Then you could put Rublev a bit lower. You could put Rublev in at 7 or maybe 8. If you're being harsh, you could put him as high as 5 as well. I guess he's the most difficult one to judge. I just don't see Rublev, though, beating all these players back to back. I don't really see it with Rafa right now either. So that's why you've kind of got, I think you've got a top 3, all of which I think are in the mix, so to speak. Tsitsipas would be a surprise given the year he's had, but he does make it in at 4. You know, Tsitsipas just was within a whisker of beating Djokovic. If Nadal hasn't been within a whisker of beating Djokovic on a hard court in 9 years, since the US Open final in 2013. So Tsitsipas has already achieved something in that respect that Nadal hasn't managed to achieve in the past decade or so. So yeah, I'll put up my possible group of death once again. Patrick there obviously saying maybe he would have Rafa above Rublev compared to my thoughts. Yep, still no news as yet from Turin. Let's show a bit of Rafa. Shall we show a bit of Rafa doing some keepy uppies? Maybe you'd like to see that. Let's get that up on the screen for you. Yeah, I think that's it. Yeah, I just had a tweet suggesting that maybe the draw has been made, but I think it's fake news, if I'm honest. I think it's just a bit of speculation regarding the group. Yeah, it's been deleted, that tweet, so that probably tells you enough that all you need to know. Yeah, let's get a bit of There we go. Let's get that up on the screen for you. So Rafa's been practicing, but he's also been practicing his soccer skills as well. As we can see maybe here. Don't know if you can see this, but maybe not. Actually, it's probably not showing so well up on the screen for you. Maybe just check out my Twitter account. I've just retweeted this anyway, so feel free to have a look at that. Let me know in the live chat, by the way, what do you think of my power rankings? What do you think of this situation? I mean, I can also see still no draw. It would seem like still no draw available. I am keeping my eye on this. Yeah, still no news. Listen, what I'm going to do, guys, is as soon as the draw comes out, I will go live. I think we'll probably come back with you in about, hopefully in the next few minutes, maybe in 10 or 15 minutes. We will be back with you immediately live, but there is no news as yet on the draw. So I do apologize that I wasn't able to bring you the draw live today in terms of, or right now, but I will be back immediately as soon as the draw is announced. So make sure you hit that subscribe button. Make sure you hit the notification button. As soon as the draw is announced, you will get a notification saying John Silk and Talking Tennis is live. So you will be able to tune in immediately as soon as the draw is announced. And then you will be able to rejoin us. Hopefully, you'll have a spot of lunch if you are in Europe right now. But make sure you hit that notification button as well as subscribe. Once you hit that notification button, you will immediately see the draw live with me and the reaction to the draw. I will also be doing a preview show as well in the next 24 hours or so, as well as plenty of other shows. So make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. I'll be back with you. I could be back with you in 5 minutes. Or 5 hours, depending on how quick they are in Turin to make the draw. For now, Tennis World, apologies for not being able to bring you the news of the draw, but thank you for stopping by, and I will be back with you maybe in a few minutes.